Life and business is like the changing seasons. That's the first phrase. Life and business is like the changing seasons. One of the best ways to describe life, it's like the seasons. Frank Sinatra sings, life is like the seasons. Now here's the second phrase. Very important. You cannot change the seasons, but you can change yourself. You can't change the seasons, but you can change yourself. And see, that's how life gets better for you, not by chance, but by change. Now, here's the 4 major lessons in life to learn. I've got my first book finished, came out a couple of weeks ago. This is in it, the 4 major lessons in life to learn. Here they are. Number 1, learn how to handle the winters. That's lesson 1. They come right after falls, with regularity. Some are long and some are short and some are hard and some are easy, but they keep coming. You must learn to handle the nights. They come right after days. You must learn to handle difficulty. It comes right after opportunity. You must learn to handle recessions. They always follow progressions for the last 6,000. See, it isn't going to change. The lesson you must learn is how to handle it. And there's all kinds of winters, right? The winter when you can't figure it out. The winter when it all goes smash. The winter when it turns belly up. The winter when it won't work, when you've run out of money and you've got a broken heart. See, those are winter times. There's all kinds. Economic winters, social winters, personal winters. When your heart is smashed in 1,000 pieces and the nights are unusually long. Your prayers seem to go no higher than your head. It's wintertime. Barbra Streisand sings, it used to be so natural to talk about forever, but used to be's don't count anymore. They just lay on the floor till we sweep them away. You don't sing me love songs, and you don't say you need me, and you don't bring me flowers anymore.
Discipline. There must be discipline.
Discipline, the root of all good qualities, the driver of daily execution. The core principle that overcomes laziness and lethargy and excuses. Discipline defeats the infinite excuses that say, not today, not now, I need a rest, I'll do it tomorrow. What's the hack? How do you become stronger, smarter, faster, healthier? How do you become better? How do you achieve true freedom? There is only one way. The way of discipline. Why? Why? Over and over and over again, I'm asked, why? What drives me? When I was younger, I was preparing for war. I knew that somewhere out there, another man was also preparing. That man was my enemy. He was working, training, planning, and preparing to meet me on the battlefield. I didn't know when. I didn't know where, but I knew at some point we would meet. And I wanted to be ready. Ready mentally, ready physically, ready emotionally. So I trained. And I prepared. And I did everything I could to be ready for that day. When I became a leader, I took the same approach. To prepare my men in the same way, to train brutally and without mercy, so we could fight brutally and without mercy. And the day came. We met the enemy on the battlefield. We were ready, and we fought, and we won.
You can't have the certainty that gets you to follow through and get results. You aren't going to get that with low energy. So jot this down if you would. You cannot manage what you do not measure. You cannot manage what you do not measure. Now, the number one thing we have to measure is our level of energy, because it's going to affect the way your brain functions, the way you interact with other human beings, whether a problem knocks you to your knees or whether you truly step up. So that energy is critical. Now think about this. On a 0 to 10, if your energy is a 10, it's that 0 to 10, like unstoppable energy. It literally, anybody can give you anything and you're going to pour through it. You're going to find a way. If your energy is like a 5, if it's a 2 or 3, it's over. Well, first of all, I'm sorry you lost your job, and I'm not being trite, but crisis creates breakthroughs. It either destroys you if you let it, or creates a breakthrough. It's like nobody wants to be disappointed. But if you're going to be successful, you have to learn to discipline your disappointment, right? You can't let it take you over. And so many people today are in despair. I don't know if you read, but I think it was 20% of all kids under the age of 30, according to the CDC, said they've considered suicide in the last 6 months because they had no compelling future. By the way, did you hear Siri when she talked about being wired by all these machines, 5% chance to live? And what did she do? She created a compelling future, saw herself running back up that mountain, celebrating, doing those things. Without a compelling future, you're not going to make anything happen. What you're going to get out of this weekend is a compelling future, number one. Number two, you're going to learn how to change your state. So it doesn't matter, just like Siri did. It doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter how bad it is. You're not just going to understand it intellectually. We're going to be doing it day and night, night and day. When I talk about this idea of immersion, I don't think some of you really get what I mean. Like, immersion is when you're living, breathing, experiencing it, not sitting back, writing a few notes and thinking about it. We have some processes there that are incredibly intense, but they're incredibly fulfilling because they change the way your brain is wired. And so when you're going up and you're competing, and there's a lot of competition now, you and I both know that, really skilled people because of the changes that COVID brought, you no longer had to have a problem to be let go of. Companies had to let go of some of their best people to survive, and many companies would have gone under. So if you're going for that next opportunity, your psychological, emotional fitness, your capacity to be able to deal with any challenge, your ownership of yourself is what's going to push over the edge. Because we all know applicants, there's lots of applicants now. We're looking at so many great people, but we're looking for the people that have the mental, emotional fitness, the chemistry, the psychology, to be able, no matter what they face, to turn it around. And that shows up more than your CV does, that's for sure. That shows up a hell of a lot more than telling us what you can do. It's feeling who you are.
You ain't gonna believe this, but you used to fit right here. I'd hold you up and say to your mother, this kid's gonna be the best kid in the world. This kid's gonna be somebody better than anybody ever knew. And you grew up good and wonderful. It was great just watching you every day. It was like a privilege. Then the time come for you to be your own man and take on the world, and you did. But somewhere along the line, you changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. I'm always gonna love you no matter what. No matter what happens. You're my son, you're my blood. You're the best thing in my life. But until you start believing in yourself, you're gonna have a life.